Bill's here with our first look at weather. And Bill, we're not in for any more of this brutal storm-like weather.
Of course not. That was a freak. That happens. No, it really was. Yeah. It really was because, you know, the weather map yesterday was all full of eyes of bars that were stretched 1,000 miles apart. Nothing was happening. It was just a big stew, you know. Yeah. But then along came the upper trough.
That upper trough always causes problems,
It's always worth something. It makes news meteorologically, I'll tell you. At any rate, you're probably wondering if that's going to happen today again, or not today, tonight, or tomorrow. Chances are definitely no. Because as you look at the weather map tonight, one of the things you're going to see is that there's nothing on the weather map going on anywhere. We have no strength on the weather map. The low pressure areas are blah. The high pressure areas are blah. And there doesn't seem to be any more of those upper troughs in the neighborhood at all. Consequently, we're looking for a slow warm up in things. And who knows, by Sunday we may be seeing sunshine.
You're watching ITV News at 10 with Gordon Steinke, Jacqueline Clarke, and Jerry Bellica on Night Watch.
Last night, the heavy rains left cars on the Sherwood Park Freeway submerged. And this morning, as things were drying out, another delay. A semi-trailer rolled over this afternoon, tying up traffic for hours. Looked on the freeway at Highway 14. The accident blocked both northbound lanes on the highway for most of the afternoon. It's business as usual tonight. Coming home from vacation won't be relaxing for one Edmonton family. Fire broke out in this trailer early this afternoon. Firefighters aren't sure what caused the blaze, but they say it started in the kitchen. The fire caused extensive interior damage. Ironically, the family's smoke detector was in working order. More fuel today for Edmonton's two-airport dilemma. A Senate committee accused Transport Canada of putting travelers using the municipal airport at risk. The committee says pilots flying into the Muni have been using a giant Molson's beer sign to guide them rather than relying on the airport's weather system. The automated system was recently replaced by human observers. In national news tonight, a brave Canadian soldier returned home today after months of being used as a human shield by Bosnian Serbs in the former Yugoslavia. Captain Patrick Reckner touched down in Vancouver today. Reckner doesn't think he's a hero, even though he admits there were some pretty hairy moments.
The danger to our lives was very present, and we had about 5 very bad experiences the first day.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Chrétien says more international aid is needed to end the Bosnian conflict. At an Ottawa conference on European security, Chrétien said now is not the time for peacekeepers to pull out.
There's still a need to strengthen our international institutions and arrangements. Our institutions have not proven that they can prevent the repetition of a Bosnian scenario.
Chrétien also said some countries are more preoccupied with advancing their own interests than in peace. In other news, there may be an inquiry after an overnight prison riot in Hull, Quebec. About 20 inmates with homemade weapons sparked a 3-hour uprising that left 4 guards and 2 inmates with minor injuries. Prison officials regained control of the facility overnight. It was a strange day at the Paul Bernardo trial. Bernardo's lawyer suggested Karla Homolka helped her ex-husband rape Tammy Homolka months before her final fatal night. And as Lauren Sabrin reports, there was some foundation to the allegation.
Summer of 1990, months before, Tammy Homolka was drugged, raped, and choked to death. John Rosen said Karla Homolka and Paul Bernardo fantasized about having sex with her. Karla Homolka said that's a lie. Rosen put it to Homolka that she was jealous and suspicious about a 5-hour drive Bernardo took with Tammy to pick up liquor, and that it was Homolka's jealousy that prompted her to ply her sister with alcohol, sleeping pills, and anesthetic the night she died. Rosen told Homolka that she was thinking, if Tammy thinks playing with fire isn't going to get her hurt, I'll show her what it's all about. Homolka shot back, you're dead wrong. Rosen produced the transcript of a sex scene between Homolka and Bernardo only weeks after Tammy's death. Homolka is heard saying to him, do you remember taking her virginity in July? Homolka said that was a scripted fantasy. Rosen said it was fact. Earlier in the day, Rosen produced numerous love notes Homolka had written to Bernardo early on in their relationship. Sexually suggestive love notes, such as you're perverted, you're wicked, you're depraved, and you're my kind of guy. And your little girl wants to be abused. She needs her big, bad businessman to dominate her the best he can. She wrote numerous letters to her high school friend, Debbie Purdy. In one letter, Karla Homolka, self-described animal lover, sent Purdy cat claws and a puppy's tail from the vet's office where she worked. Homolka told Purdy, "Show your friends. God, they must think I'm sick." Homolka said it was a joke. She wrote letters to Purdy that Rosen says shows she was preoccupied with her wedding. Homolka said there's nothing strange about a girl being preoccupied with her wedding. And Rosen said unless in the interim there's the death of her sister who was drugged and raped, and unless a stranger is sexually assaulted and dies in her house. John Rosen told the jury that Karla Homolka has been trying to paint herself as a victim of a controlling and abusive man. But he said she never told her friends and family about the abuse. In fact, she told them that all of her dreams were coming true and she was going to marry the best man in the world.
Today, a police expert testified that fibers found on a bloody glove resembled fibers from O.J. Simpson's Bronco. And as Greg Lefebvre reports, the prosecution hopes the testimony will undoubtedly link Simpson to the murders.
Prosecutors used loose fibers to tie up loose ends in their case against O.J. Simpson. Prosecutor Jacqueline Clarke tried to show a match between dark fibers found at the scene and a dark sweatsuit worn by Simpson that night.
Can you please tell us from which items you found such fibers?
Well, there were blue-black cotton fibers found on the Rockingham glove, on Ron Goldman's shirt, and on the socks from the defendant's bedroom.
FBI hair and fiber expert Douglas Dietrich also showed other dark fibers from Nicole Brown Simpson's dress are virtually identical to fibers found on both bloody gloves and on Ron Goldman's shirt. Dietrich said carpet fibers found on the knit cap were quite rare.
What conclusion did you reach?
Well, all of those fibers, the question fibers from the towel, from the shovel, from the plastic, from the Rockingham glove, and also from the knit hat, could have originated from that Bronco.
Simpson's Bronco. Earlier, Dietrich ruled out the other white Bronco, Al Cowling's. Cowling's carpet is blue. Simpson's and the fibers on the evidence were light brown. Later, defense attorney F. Lee Bailey attempted to draw from Dietrich that hair testing is at best inexact. The prospect of Nicole Brown's mother providing a closing punch to the prosecution case may not happen. The defense says it may agree to facts that Judita Brown may testify about, and that might eliminate her testimony and an emotional courtroom drama. Greg Lefebvre, CNN, Los Angeles.
After yesterday's storm, let's hope we get some calmer weather for the rest of the week. Here's what it looks like out there right now. Bill will have the forecast when we come back. And in sports, the Eskies get ready for a showdown in Regina. And on Health Matters, are your kids in danger of getting Lyme disease?
On Thursday's First News, she's the pride of the Gold Rush. We'll meet this year's Klondike Kate.
And we're going to mosey on down to the Mootart and check out the Bonsai Show. That's for First News tomorrow.
This week, you'll find over $200 in grocery savings in the mail. Plus 10 chances to win 5,000 air miles with your Another Season of Savings coupon book from Safeway.
To clean barbecues and hibachies, nothing beats Barbecue Grease Buster. After each use, as soon as your barbecue is cooled, spray the grill and the inside surfaces to dissolve charred deposits in baked-on grease without altering the taste or quality of your favorite foods. Soon after, simply wipe your grill. All your accessories and the interior of your barbecue will be sparkling clean again. Barbecue Grease Buster, the specialist.
Third floor furniture.
Where's all the furniture?
Oblivion? Where's all the furniture?
Should have gone to Leon's. We've got hundreds of styles and colors, so you'll find exactly what you're looking for. And right now, you don't pay for 1 whole year during our No Money Miracle.
He seems to like your cologne.
Leon's, Canada's only furniture superstores.
What's the best-selling brand of major appliances in Canada? We'll give you a hint. Why is this woman smiling? Okay, we'll tell you. It's the Best of Kenmore sale at Sears. We've picked the Kenmores with the most popular features and put them on sale. So you get great prices on Canada's best-selling brand of appliances, all backed by the Kenmore commitment. And it gets even better. Use your Sears card and don't pay till January 96. But you better hurry. Sale ends July 5th.
Expect more from Sears. It's Red Lobster Canada's Lobster Fest.
Grab the gang and head on down to a swinging lobster party. It's the talk of the town.
Maritime Tales, Rock Tales. New combinations, all at special prices.
The lobster's just the best at Red Lobster's Lobster Fest.
You're watching ITV News at 10.
Some breaking news now. The body of a jet fighter pilot has been found near CFB Cold Lake just minutes ago. The jet went down just after 9 this morning at CFB Cold Lake. 30-year-old Captain Richard Bailey of Vernon, BC was the jet's pilot. He was based at Cold Lake. He was flying a routine training mission when his plane went down. A small army of searchers went to work almost immediately using helicopters and Hercules search planes. His body was found shortly before the search was to be called off for the day. Earlier, searchers held out hope that he ejected and survived.
He's a newly trained, he's new on the squadron. It's his first tour. And he's a combat-ready operational pilot on 416 Squadron. Trained not only in air-to-air tactics, but also survival techniques.
The jet went down in rough terrain just east of the Alberta border. The search was concentrated to a single area inaccessible by road. This is the second crash in less than a month involving a CF-18 from Cold Lake. Last month, the jet crashed during training exercises in Oregon, but the pilot was uninjured. The newly renovated racetrack grandstand at Edmonton Northlands has a new name tonight. In a ceremony tonight, it was christened the Northlands Spectrum. The name reflects the fact the facility is for more than just horse racing. Northlands officials say they researched the name for 6 months and found the name Spectrum was well received. Well, Greg Musselman is here. Not a bad name, eh?
Yes.
The Spectrum?
Spectrum, yeah. There's a hockey rink, I think, named
That's
like
right. That's what it reminds me of.
Philadelphia Spectrum, yeah. Well, I guess we'll talk a little bit of hockey here. The draft, of course, is coming to town. A lot of folks excited. And the NHL actually announcing today that they have given the Oilers another 560 tickets to go for draft day on Saturday. And those tickets will go on sale on Saturday morning at about 9 o'clock at the Coliseum. You may want to get there early. And now, as far as the draft is concerned, getting the Coliseum ready. Now, of course, Saturday's the big draft day, but Friday another big day as well.
Prospects preview on Friday at 12 noon at City Hall. That's going to hopefully be outside if we get a semi-decent weather. I know the league is kind of worried about it, and they're thinking about 8 o'clock in the morning. If they get clouds, they're going to move it inside. We're trying to encourage them that Edmonton's a funny place. It looks like it's going to be sunny. So we hope that's outside. 12 noon on Friday. All the top prospects, Brian Burke, the vice president of the league, will be introducing them, and Jason Arnott will be there on our behalf.
It'll be a lot of fun. And by the way, coming up tonight at 11 on Sports Night, Damon Langkow of Sherwood Park. He's expected to go in the top 5. He will be my guest in the studio, and I would expect an excited young man. The announcement today that Mike Milbury is the new bench boss of the New York Islanders. Milbury is the 6th coach in that club's history and takes over for the fired Lorne Henning.
Maybe I'm an idiot, but I still feel like I can get these guys going and playing hard and having some fun and bring some fans back. And when you do that, things start to come together and it becomes a snowball, and you never know when it will stop.
Let's go to baseball now, where flamboyant rookie Carlos Perez on the hill for the Montreal Expos tonight in St. Louis. Carlos got rocked by the Marlins last time out. Let's see how he made out this evening as we go to the highlight zone. Look at the big chew there, Jacqueline. Big hit up the middle, and Perez not happy with himself. Toner Urbani gets through, and a run will come in to score. St. Louis with the early 1-0 lead. The Expos will pull even in the 6th. Sean Barry goes to right field. It might be. It could be. It's gone. It's a home run. The game is tied at 1. Bottom of the inning, the Cardinals will get to Carlos again. Brian Jordan with a shot to center. And this, too, is gone. In fact, it lands in the garden. Now, if my kids were doing this to my wife's garden, they'd be in a lot of trouble. Easy on the plants, guys. 3-1 St. Louis, but the Expos would battle back. Moses Alou will hit one to left center. Jordan has some trouble with the ball, and corralling it there. A run will come in to score. That tied the game at 3. But in the bottom of the 10th, St. Louis Cardinals won it. Final was 4-3. Meanwhile, the struggling Blue Jays in Anaheim tonight. And the Jays are leading this one 6-2 in the 6th inning. Joe Carter and Robbie Alomar homers in that game. The Trappers and Dukes continue tonight in the Trap. Hey, they swept it 5-0 and 4-0 in those ball games. Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras are still on course to meet in the men's final of the Wimbledon Tennis Championship this weekend in London. Both won their quarterfinal matches today. Agassi in the near court was taking on Joko Entig and gave the Dutchman a bit of a lesson. A nice shot down the line with the forehand giving Agassi the second set 6-3. And more of the same in the third. Agassi playing a little closer to the baseline. Watch as one the backhand. Little top spin over Joko Agassi with Brooke in the crowd won in straight sets. Shuzo Matsusuka had a big task ahead as he took on Pete Sampras, the unseeded player from Japan. Won the first set versus Pete 7-6. But then Sampras gained control and won the next 3 sets today with some good net play like this here. As well winning today, Boris Becker and Goran Ivanisevic. They have also moved on to the semifinals. And I'll be back at 11 with Sports Night.
Geez, packed show there, Greg.
Loaded.
Thanks very much.